Today is the day I've been waiting for over 4 years. You gotta be kidding me, why so long? It took me that long to get a pellet grill. Today is all about a barbecue pork throwdown. We're gonna put it on our pellet smoker, put it on our Weber charcoal grill, and see which one we like better. You guys stay tuned. We always hear the people in the background say the stick burner is the #1 way to go. We always hear people in the background that say charcoal grills are extremely hard to beat, very versatile. And since I've had them almost my whole life, I tend to sway that decision. Recently, we picked up a pellet smoker. Now, all of a sudden, in my mind, it's a game changer. So there's only one way to put this to the test. Which is better? I've got a charcoal grill and a pellet smoker. Today we're doing 2 pork butts. We're gonna season them exactly the same way. We're gonna keep the temperatures as close together as possible. Other than that, 8, maybe 10, maybe 12 hours later, we're about to chow down on some dang good pork. You guys ready? Let's see what we got going on. All right, for the seasoning, this brisket rub by Pit Boss has a little black pepper in it. It's a little salty, okay? Sure Shot Sids, love their products. That's almost like a neutral balance. It's got the barbecue that you would normally think of. It's not over seasoned. You can taste all the ingredients in there. Then my man Heath Riles hit me up with this stuff right here, and this is fantastic. Very few times, and I mean this from the heart, very few times where I can take a product straight out of the bottle and not want to add my own stuff to it. This is one of those products. I love this one right here. So we're gonna go with 50% this, 25% this, and 25% that, okay? So 2 lids full, and then 1 and 1. You guys can come up with your own combination. Heck, a lot of times, I've said it before, I like to do my pork butts completely, I wouldn't say naked, salt, pepper, and garlic only. But we do have a lot of barbecue things going on later. And so I thought it'd be a great way to just go ahead and get that barbecue seasoning in there. One thing for sure that I've noticed ever since I got the pellet grill, how convenient and how easy it is to do. A lot of you guys reached out when I first got it because I asked about storing the pellets to keep them from getting damp. People recommended 5-gallon buckets. For all of you that reached out and said that, thank you so much. This is a hodgepodge of mixed flavors. It's got whiskey, fruit, charcoal, and competition blend. So far, I haven't found really like a extreme winner one way or the other, so I just mix them up. Doesn't bother me one bit. Get that hopper nice and full since it's gonna be a long cook. And as easy as it sounds, as easy as it is, it literally is. We'll let the smoke roll and then get our temperature set to where we want it. All right, we've got my Weber Summit grill over here. I haven't opened this bad boy since I got my pellet smoker. It's nice to see it again. So this is the deal. I've got a video on how to set up your charcoal grill as a smoker. It goes in depth about the levels, all the things you need to know. We're gonna skip that part today because today is all about juicy, tender, barky pork. I just can't wait. But we're gonna try to keep the temperatures pretty steady. My pellet smoker does not have a 275 option. It's got 250 or 300. I like the 275 option. That's the temp I try to run on my charcoal grill. So since that's not an option, I'm gonna try to keep them pretty balanced. We're gonna throw all the thermometers we have into the mix and just try to keep it as even as possible. So at the end, we have a fair result, okay? We're gonna get all this stuff lit up and ready to smoke. All right, to be fair, we try to find the ones that are closest in size. 1757, 1740, it's pretty close. As close as we can get.
We also tried to get ones that were a similar shape.
Yep. I wanted the end tail to be a lot more blunt than pointy. If you're talking about binders, each to their own. I don't think it needs it. It's going to be pretty tacky the way it is. I like to score it. So we're just going to run your knife about 1/4 to 1/2 inch down the fat cap. You can use mustard as a binder. Come back over here and we're going to season liberally. Okay, a light coating on top because that's our presentation side. So we're gonna season everything first and do the top last. Come back over, let's finish this top. All right, I'm gonna do the other one the exact same way. And by that time, our fire's gonna be pretty close to get everything ready. All right, our fire's getting, woo, that smoke. Our fire's getting to a good point right now. Go ahead and set everything on there. So we're gonna set our heat diffuser. Keep one side open. I like to put a pan down. It just catches the drippings from the pork, unnecessary to get in the bottom of the grill. Clean lid on top. Open all vents. So the rule of thumb, if you're not used to charcoal grilling, basically you're going to have all your vents open until your grill's about close to 50 degrees rising. So let's say my target temperature is 250, 275. I'm going to cut it off about basically 200 to 225. Get your damper set and then let this thing roll for several hours.
When you say cut it off, you mean close the vents?
Not all the way. Like, that's why we have the tutorial video. We'll adjust the vents accordingly. And throughout the cook, through the whole day, we're going to adjust our vents top and bottom as needed, right? One's gas, one's brake. We have a whole tutorial about that. Might be unnecessary, but I do it because I like the idea. I've done it before. I put my pulled pork on a little elevated rack. The bone's here, so I'm going to face the bone towards the fan. Insert my meat thermometer and basically say night night to this son of a gun. You got a little porthole right here on your pellet smoker, so I just run my thermometer in there. I'm not worried about the outside temp on the grill as much as I am just the inside temp. We got a long ways to go. All right, I did want to mention I've added apple chips. I have Jack Daniel's hickory chips, and I've also got hickory chips. Okay, so all three of those have been blended in, just thrown in there, not one or the other. Plus we're cooking on charcoal, so that kind of equals the fruit and the flavor that we're getting from the pellets. That's about as close as I could get. We've hit that 250 mark. That's what our pellet grill's on right now, so that's a good time for me to throw the pork on. The next time you see us is when we're gonna start spritzing, so I'm gonna say about 2 hours, somewhere through there. All right, about 3 hours in the cook. Now we're gonna talk about spritzing. I personally spritz a lot. I like the vinegar taste, so this is how I do it. Apple cider vinegar, half and half with like an apple juice concentrate. I just kind of eyeball it. Remember, when you do this apple juice concentrate, since it does have sugar in it, that's gonna help your caramelization and your bark as well, okay?
You said since it does have sugar in it?
Since it does have sugar in it, it's going to speed up that process, and it's going to help your bark, okay? We've been hovering around 300 pretty consistently. No really major spikes. I'm pretty happy with it so far. You guys can see that we're drying out pretty good. And this is why I put the thingamajigger, the sheet pan in there. You just catch all the drippings. You're still getting the smoke. And basically from here on out, I'm a baster. I'm a spritzer. I believe in it, and I love the vinegar tang it gives to it. So for me, I'm gonna do about every 45 minutes to an hour. Not a big deal until it's time to wrap. You can see that our charcoal grill, which is expected, is getting a little darker. Oh yeah. All right, we're at the 5.5 hour mark, give or take. Show you guys a sneak peek under the hood. Beautiful color on that. The camera actually shows it just a little bit brighter. That's got a nice bronze to it. I like the way it's looking. But we've actually held 10 degrees cooler the whole time. So once we came out here and checked it the first time, we're about a 10-degree separation, and it's no different. So it's held pretty steady. Big cruise anywhere between 250 and 275 to 300 on this one. Show you guys the difference. That's kind of what I was expecting. Typically, charcoal gets a little bit more darker bark, but that's about as far as I want to take it.
What is this temperature?
Inside, it was 160. It just started cooling off. So take this off. Whoo! Gotta work around my little station right here. We got some homemade beef tallow flour tortillas we're testing out. You guys can check out that recipe, you know, sometime down the road when we post it. It's gonna be pretty soon. They're fantastic.
Fantastic.
Right, back to the thing here. I like to do a little spritz. Like I said, I love this stuff. It's gonna help it a little bit.
And that's the same apple cider vinegar and apple juice concentrate.
Yep, so what I'm gonna do is the Pit Boss is gonna be in the Pit Boss paper, and then the Weber is just gonna be in the generic one. That way I can distinguish the difference. And I actually like to finish my pork butts in the oven. I think once you pull them off and wrap them, it's about energy. And my oven is a heck of a lot more efficient than my grill or my pellet smoker. So we actually like to finish ours in the oven. Let's go this way for a little wrappage. If you squirt down your butcher paper, it just makes it a little bit more pliable.
Ooh, that vinegar is strong.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got the fat side up.
Yep. That way I can still render and just tuck it in like a dang present on Christmas. All right, now that it's wrapped, I'm just going to keep my 4-probe style thermometer. I'm going to put the other one with the pellet smoker right here, so I can just have one thermometer going. Right back in, about the same depth. We're going to throw this in the oven at 275. Wait till our pellet smoker pork butt gets up to temp, and we're going to repeat the same process. All right, it's time to pull our pork butt. Ooh, look at all that juice. Now you kind of see why I make the conscious decision to put it in one of these pans. You don't lose any bark, you don't lose any flavor. I just don't want all that crap on my grill. Make it tougher to clean later. All right, same method. Now, surprisingly, just to give you a heads up, the pork butt in the oven has really outpaced it. I almost think that we hit the stall early on this one because we were at 176, 179 just a couple minutes ago, and we pulled this at 157. So it's definitely outpaced it. So we might have hit the stall just a little bit early, but we're going to shoot about 196 to 200-ish, somewhere through there. So if I need to pull the Weber style first, I will. But the next time we'll shoot the video, I'll make sure that both of them are out of the oven. All right, guys, so I'm about to pull the one from the Weber. Just to be honest with you, I don't know if it actually ever stalled. It never, ever stopped climbing. My Pit Boss, I think, stalled early. I think it stalled about 155 to 157, which is kind of weird, but I guess really not if you think about it. Typically 160 to 170, somewhere through that's your stall. So the 5 degrees I'm not worried about. But the one on the Weber I'm actually pretty interested in. That's a pretty quick cook. So we're just going to take these out. I got my little cooler here. Woo. This is going to go back in and finish, and then once this is done, we're going to end the video. Whew. I don't know if I'm going to let these things rest long enough, but I'm tired of waiting. Now is the time. We got our Pit Boss, we got the Weber, and this is what the video is all about. Oh geez, you gotta be careful.
It's gonna fall apart.
That bad boy's
so tender.
Ooh, look at that bark. Look at that bark. Save that juice in that paper. Don't let that stuff go to waste. Wow.
Ooh.
Wow. People say pellet smokers can't get bark. Wow. Uh-oh. All right, guys. So first things first, you got to do the pull of the bone test to see what you think. I'm pretty confident it should be pretty easy. I would say that's probably pretty easy. I don't think there's a problem there. Nothing actually surprised me on the cook except the one never stalled. I mean, it just never slowed down from day one, or from the word go. I'm not as skilled on the pellet smoker, but I'm a huge bark fan. I typically take my bark a little bit longer than most, just because we enjoy the deep colors of the bark more. And I really thought the Weber was going to be able to produce a deeper bark. I'm extremely surprised how dark the bark is on the pellet smoker. Now, with that being said, we did offset it some with a little bit of that apple juice and vinegar. But as you can see right now, it's extremely, extremely close. So I don't really know how you're supposed to do this. I mean, I don't know what you guys want from me to see if it's tender. I don't know if you want me to break the whole thing apart. I'd like not to. Because if you don't have to break the whole thing apart, it stays a lot more moisture. A lot more moisture?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a word?
Probably. More moist.
Boy, I tell you what, you put this on a dang bun. Whew, this thing's just as hot. This thing's been cooling down for hours. I'd say the charcoal one got done about an hour and a half before. I mean, just look at this. I mean, I don't know what... I mean, I just don't know how much more tender or moist you can make a pork butt. All right, we just switched this. We just turned the whole thing around, so now you've got a different point of view. This is the pellet, and this is the charcoal. Now remember, my whole philosophy in this video was not to make the world's greatest pork butt, although I think we've come close. That's just being honest. What I was wanting to do is just basically see if you can taste the difference in the porks. How easy was it to cook? The overall process of putting it on the charcoal grill or the pellet smoker. Is there a big difference? All right, that's your Weber right there.
Are we trying it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we waited long enough.
It's true.
I'm
gonna try to keep these intact because we're gonna have family over later on in the week. And if you can keep them intact, they're gonna stay a little bit, retain a lot more of that juice, that moisture. See what you think. I know it's hard to compare because you're not getting like the equal parts of bark every single time. But look, if you're talking about smoke, there's smoke all the way through this. You can't look at this and not see pink. Okay? You can't look at this and not see chunks of bark, which is what I absolutely crave,
Give me the bark.
love. I think sets a lot of pork over the edge. Same thing with this. You got this pink, you got the smoke rings, you got the bark.
You need to stop feeding me so much good food, honey.
Okay, what?
When are you going to start making me salads?
We should have picked a different profession. All right, what's your answer? Besides that.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the bark.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can't
But
burn
that-
something to be this moist.
Yeah. It is incredible.
All right, so this is my opinion. This is my honest opinion. I grew up on charcoal grills. I've cooked on stick burners quite often. The pellet smoker is pretty new to me. I was almost like anti-pellet smoker forever. I just thought it was not the way to go. Too easy, not enough flavor. The pellet smoker has completely changed my mind since I've got it from day one. Day one, it's outperformed any other piece of cooking equipment I've ever had. I think because I had such a negative opinion about it to begin with.
So you had low expectations.
Yeah, but I think they've even exceeded my expectations. With that being said, if you're really, 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 really good on a charcoal grill, you can set a really good charcoal grill, set it and forget it, almost with different methods, different techniques, and you're not as stressed about temperature spikes and drops. The pellet smokers, literally, you fill the hopper up, you got a clean one to start with, you turn it to your temperature and you're done. If it spikes, it comes back down. I don't think there is enough difference on the board right now to tell me there's a clear-cut winner. So then it's got to come back to ease or maintenance or preference on those grills. I don't think you can eat this blindfolded and tell me which one's charcoal and which one's
Should we test me?
Now let me show you this.
Should we do that test?
Let me show you this. I do have an extra tube for my pellet smoker because a lot of people reached out to me when I got it and said, hey, get an extra tube of smoke, because when the auger's not running, then you don't have a lot of smoke producing, whereas a charcoal grill, if you do it right, you've got smoke producing all the time. I didn't feel like I needed this. I haven't felt like I've needed it from day one, and this is not the first pork butt that I've cooked on my pellet smoker. So this is the deal. That's the whole point of the video. Which one is better? I swear to you, as my viewers, as my confidants, as my friends, as my subs, as anything in the world, I don't think there's a hand-down winner. I think it comes just to ease of what you prefer. I just don't see the difference. They're both moist, they're both tender, they're both barky. That rub on them, absolutely knocked it out of the park. Heath Ryle's got a great product. Sure Shot Sid's, fantastic product as well. This will go on any bun in America and please 95% of the people. Phenomenal. Did I drop it?
We're saving that one for later.
Is it on there?
It's on there.
We'll get it off. Is it still on there?
In my mouth.
She said. All right, guys, there you go. Like I said, something I've been wanting to do for a long time. If you guys are interested, we have a join button down below. It's a membership program, and we just want to thank each and every one of you that's taking time to do that. Check out the Griddle Group on Facebook. It's where we talk about griddles. Heck, we can talk about smokers if you wanted to. Let's just talk about food. Last but not least, thanks for watching. Don't forget to press that subscribe button, pound the notification button, share it with your friends. Peace. You didn't give me your winner.
Time for dinner. I mean, they're both fantastic.
You don't have a winner, do you?
I mean, I'll just take a little bit of this, and I'll take a little bit of this one.
You don't have a clear-cut winner, do you?
I mean, they're both great. I think it's the cook. I think it's the hands that prepared it.
Oh, gosh.